So again, like in animal welfare and in dog training, there's a whole conversation about fear-free and about positive reinforcement only and about not using adversives. And I know that's semantics, you know, and you can be the most gentle parent or dog trainer or whatever you want to be, but the word no still has to exist, right? So is that happening in horse training? And what's your approach to that, or tell us about that?
Yeah, so 1,000%, right? So it's interesting because like not telling a horse no, not giving them clear boundaries, not setting expectations can be just as dangerous as the person who's putting way too much pressure and being unfair to a horse. Because a horse that's never told no, that's never given clarity, that's always got treats shoved, like that's the horse that's gonna buck, kick, bite, nail people.
Just like a teenager.
Yeah, exactly, right? They can be so dangerous because like nothing's off limits to them, right?
To themselves and others.
Exactly.
Literally.
Yes, to themselves and others. And so those are the horses where people bring in a horse and they're like, you know, oh, such and such has been such a good horse for so long. But then just out of nowhere, he just started bucking and he threw me and drug me down the trail. Well, it didn't come out of nowhere. Horses are so perceptive. And what happens is we're just not attentive to what they need. And we treat horses like humans. And so even with human interactions, sometimes we're so afraid to give people clarity, tell them what we think, to be direct with them, maybe not wanting to hurt their feelings or whatever, but ultimately that's what you end up doing, right? Horses are the same way. They're like, and I tell people this all the time, if a horse could talk, I think every horse would just be like, just tell me what you want and I'll do it. Because they are herd animals. They want to go with the flow, right? If you open up a gate, 100 times out of 100, that horse is going to go out that gate, right? And so, you know, there have to be boundaries where you give them clarity so that you're giving them the direction that they need so that they know what you're asking of them. But if it's always, oh, it's okay, I'm not going to back my horse up, my horse can push me, my horse can lean on me, well, then that's what we're teaching them.
Sure.
And so you can't be surprised when out of nowhere he ends up biting, you know, the 4-year-old grandkid in the barn aisle and it's, oh, God, he's never done that before. I don't know. Well, it built up to that.
So leading with love does not mean entitlement. And love includes boundaries in all definitions of the word.
Yeah,
you know?
1,000%. I like your example with kids. Like, you know, you have to lead with love with your kids, right? You know, you want the best for them, but it's like, hey, don't touch the stove. Like,
right.
You know, you're not going to touch that stove, you know?
Because you love your kids, you don't get them a car when they're 5. Right. You know, like there are things there are boundaries.
Absolutely. Absolutely.